Hello and welcome to the Women's Club. Today is Monday, November 18th, and we are thrilled to welcome Robert Suettinger. He will be here talking about the U.S. relationship with China. He is the former Director of Asian Affairs for the National Security Council under the Clinton administration. Welcome to the Women's Club.
Thank you, Diane.
Well, one topic, I don't know if we're talking about today at the club, but I keep reading about the protests in Hong Kong. And I see the protests, but I'm not quite sure what they're protesting about. Could you talk to us about that?
Sure, it's a very complicated issue and I don't want to go on too long about it. But there are a number of reasons why the youth of Hong Kong are in a very strong protest position with respect to their own government and the government of the People's Republic of China. The main reason had to do with, at the beginning, what they perceived as the Hong Kong government's failure and the PRC government's failure to live up to the 1984 agreed framework that guaranteed the rule of law and guaranteed universal suffrage in Hong Kong. So when the chief executive of Hong Kong, Carrie Lam, put forward a bill that would enable Hong Kong to send people, prisoners, to China without an agreement, people thought that was a threat. It was yet another step, and what they saw was a weakening of their legal guarantees, and they started the protest over that issue. And about 2 million people actually went out in the street at the beginning, back in April or May, I believe, or June, when these demonstrations began. The Hong Kong government, with full backing of Beijing, decided to not pay any attention to that. And so the protests grew, they continued. Every weekend, people in the hundreds of thousands would show up, clearly showing that a substantial portion of the people of Hong Kong disagreed with their own government and disagreed with the government in Beijing and wanted their legal rights guaranteed. And unfortunately, as both sides have dug in, and the police have been drawn upon, they have behaved with a great deal of violence. And the protesters have responded in kind, and unfortunately, we are now in a situation where Hong Kong is in dire condition. The city has been heavily damaged, the universities have been damaged, lots of people have been arrested, and the Hong Kong government just looks terrible for what they have done, and Beijing doesn't look much better.
Well, I hope they are able to resolve this soon.
Everybody hopes that.
Well, thank you so much for being here at the Women's Club today. I
Thank
look
you,
forward to
Jen.
hearing your talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.